Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Mixed Mowers. Got my Riley boy here again today. He's on like a tramp on chips today. Today we're going to be doing a video of an old fella. I think he's about 70s or 80s. He got older than me. I think he used to do the same as me, but I think he's now packing up. And he gave me a load of machines for absolutely nothing at all. One of the machines is a Honda Izzy. He gave me a little tiny machine with a GX100 on it, or GV100, one or the other. And a couple of old vintage mowers too. In this video, we're going to be doing the Honda Izzy. It ain't nothing to look at, and this video is just going to demonstrate that with a little bit of ingenuity and a few pounds spent, you can turn these machines around to look absolutely A1. That's the idea. If this is the first time I'm watching Mixed Mowers, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell. Yay! Set your notifications to all. That way you'll be told one's on a video, or two, I'm on my Saturday night weekly live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty. Let's check out this little job lot of machines, and also the Honda Izzy that needs a bit of a facelift. Right, let's have a quick little look. Go for a wander. So here's a Honda Izzy, and as you can see, it just ain't nothing to look at. No one's going to buy that. No one's going to buy that at all. Why would they? But the paint damage is all superficial. It's not actually rusted at all. It's just paint flaking and pitting. So I have ordered some new gold for this, which is I've ordered the champagne gold, which I think is about the closest I can get to it. So I've got that to do. That's going to be in today's video, or it might be a two-parter. We shall see. Swimming pool grass is growing, thank the Lord. So he gave me this one here as well. Comes with a grass bag, lace you with a GV100 on it as well. Don't know anything about that machine, haven't even tried to look at it. But it's given me 4 of these vintage Atcos. Quite nice machines. He says some did run. He's had them running and what have you, but they no longer run. All come with complete with grass boxes. They're all there. 1, 2, 3, 4 grass boxes. Yet they're all there. And these alone, just the exhausts, you can't get them no more. They don't exist. Got the little Zenith carburetors on the back of these. 4 little Atcos. That one's had a little bit of modification done to it. Because that engine plate isn't right. I'm not sure if that engine's actually right either. Someone's telling me that ain't right. But looking at them, they're all there. So they'll be coming up in a future project. So keep your eye out for those. So the Honda Izzy came with the grass box, which is unusual. Don't often see a lot of that. But I think there's a little bit of fuel in it. Maybe not a lot. It's automatic choke. Let's just try and start it whilst I've got you guys on the GoPro handle. So it does run. He said it was mucking about, but I haven't experienced that at all yet. But as I say, this machine is never going to sell in the condition it's in. So what we're going to do is get up on the bench and we're going to strip it. Strip it right down, stickers off, engine off, the whole lot. Take all the wheels and axles off, and then we're going to spray the engine, spray all the plastics up, or clean the plastics up, grind the deck, sand it down, paint strip it, do the handles and all that sort of good stuff. That's the idea. And then hopefully there'll be a difference between night and day on how this machine looks. What do you think, Riley? Should we do it? Should we do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So we'll do that, and then so it might be a two-parter because I've got to wait for paint to dry and all that sort of stuff. But we'll see how we get on. Let's get up on the bench and we'll go from there. Right. Honda Izzy up on the bench. A quick little tidy. That's all it's had, was a quick little blow off. Let's back it up. The petrol has been turned off. HT lead off as well. First thing to do will be to remove the engine bolts itself off of the machine, and the blade. Take all that stuff off. There's quite a big old bolt on there. So we remove that. That's too big. I'm going to use my 1/2 inch impact to do so. Next one down, Mick. That one there, and I want my 1/2 inch as well. Impact, which makes jobs just a little bit easier. that was on there. That's the problem with these bolts. Sometimes they don't want to come out. And we got her. That's been on there a little while, that has. There it goes. Right, let's get a magnet tray in to keep all our bits and bobs together. So we've got the blade off, which is good. There's a blade. Blade actually done it too bad for what it is. So we'll put the blade to one side. And now we can muck about with the actual blade bolts itself. This will be tipped up even more into the arrest position. As I say, the oil's in the machine, but the petrol has been turned off. Okay, I'm going to make sure you're getting all of this. Let's just bring you in a bit closer maybe for a bit of a picture quality. There you go. What size that was? A 14. And it'll be it won't be a 13 because I don't have no 13s. It'll be a 12. And I want a reducer as well. 3, I don't think there's 4. There isn't normally. Yeah, there is 4. That's going to spin. So that's the engine bolts removed. And then we can tip the lawnmower back up onto its wheels. And then we'll have this this engine off. I've got to remove the dead man's handle yet as well. It makes such a difference having the 1/2 inch impact. Change your life. Right, bolts in there, hammer out the way for now. Let's tip this machine back up onto its wheels. Ooh, something like that. Let's bring you guys round a touch so you get a bit of a better view, not me. Try watching my lawnmower. It'll have a new pull cord on there as well. So I'm just going to remove the pull cord bit there. I'm going to tie that in a knot so we don't lose it, but I'm going to put a new pull cord on anyway. That can go in my bits and bobs box. And then over here, one dead man's handle to remove, or dead man's cable. Pair of long nose pliers around the side. Just follow the cable down. It's got one of the arrow style head cables. Pinch your 2 tabs in, and then just retract the cable out. Easier said than done. There it goes. Of course, don't give a lot of room up here. Might have to remove that cable to tie as well at the top. That's it. Gives me a bit more slack. And then we can remove the cable, and the engine will just come straight off there. So there's our engine. It was all running, but I dare say it may want carburetor work as well. It may not. We should see how we get on. So that's the bulk of the engine all off. We're going to remove the handlebars. They're going to be sanded down and satin blacked as well. So keep all your hardware because you want to put that on later on. On there. Right, handlebars removed. They're going to be satin black as I just said, and tied it up. Bit of hardware down there to put back in the old magnet tray. So already we're breaking this machine down quite quick. You know, it doesn't take a lot. Once you get going on them, it doesn't take a great deal to actually knock them down. Next one to remove is the rear flap. Now just take a note of how it goes on, okay? Can I show you or not? There's one spring in here, big spring in the back. I'll try and show you how it goes on in a minute, okay, just for reference. I'm going to get a punch would be good, or drift, because there's a little tiny circlip in here which has to be removed. There's a punch. Let's grab a hammer, ball peen hammer. So there's a little tiny bar just here with a circlip on it. It's going to be punched out. Let's start it off. That's it. There's a circlip. I'll have a new circlip on there anyway. And then you can just remove this bar all the way out. What I do is I get a pair of mole grips, or whatever you want to call them. I can't think what you American guys call them now. Vice grips, that's it, vice grips. Get a pair of vice grips on there, on the far side. Clamp that down to it. And then you can just start to retract this metal rod that comes all the way out. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and show you how this, without removing this flap, try and show you how this spring sits on, if I can do it. So in the centre of the spring, there's a little tiny tab that sits down inside the deck. So that's how it goes on, like so. Okay, so this spring, which is there, little tiny tab there, it goes in with the spring bit at the front, sits in there, that then sits on, bar goes through, and as you tip it up, these bits react against it. Okay, so quite simple. Put that spring in there, the flap can go to one side. So we've broken that down quite well, we're happy with that. We can now tip the lawnmower up onto its bottom. Now the underside actually is really, really good for what it is. Really, really good. Looks like it's been treated. Quite happy with that. We've got a flap, we've got a axle to remove, which should be, by the looks of it, just held on via one bolt, by the looks of it. This one here and this one here, and then possibly that will all just come off. That's what it looks like. So we'll go for that. So that looks like about a 12mm. And don't forget, because these machines are over from China, they don't have a 13. In case you're asking. All right, let's get two 13s in. Two 12s. 11s, 12s, 12s is there. Ooh. And it's going to put one down in here and one in there. I'm going to put a ratchet on that one. We've got ratchet spanners. Now these may shear off, so just go a bit careful, because they've not been undone for a while. A bit of W40 would probably help, but they are coming off. So there's one. I'm going to push that bolt through. I'm going to catch it the other side. So the bolt goes in and the nut goes on the inside. So there's that one to do, and the other side. Let me get the other side done. So that's the two bolts removed, as I've just done in the previous clip. All we then do is lift the height adjustment bar up, and that should pop out. Now you've got two spacers here. Let me just show you where they go. Two spacers, one what my thumb's holding on to, and one here. And the narrow part goes just inside the groove, okay? Narrow part inside, same outside there. So keep those bits there. They go on the inside on the bracket there, like so, okay? So there's our back axle. So we don't need that for a while. Don't forget your bushings. That's that bit done. You've then also got another, the rear grass flap assembly here. Now I could leave it on, but I'm going to be spraying it, so I don't really want to get any paint on it. So yeah, I want to remove it really, hadn't I? Let me grab my hammer and my punch again. And we just started off. There goes that. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put that back in there so we know exactly where that goes for later on. So I've got a grass flat there for striping. That's good. I think all that other stuff can stay. These are all welded, so we check condition now. These are all good, you know. These are all really, really good. So happy with it so far. There's no actual blown rust on it. Let's move on to the front side. So now we're onto the front side of the machine, which is your front wheels, and it is pretty much the same process. You've got a little tiny 13mm nut here. Oh, sorry, 12. Yep. And we're going to put 12mm in there, one in there. I'll loosen that one off. There goes a nut. There goes a bolt. Got one on this side here to do as well. That's going to be a bit tight to get into there. But we can do it. You can do it if you're being cute. Now the reason I'm leaving the wheels on is because this keeps all the bracketry together. Otherwise you take the wheels off, all that sort of stuff, and when you go to refit it all, you've got to remember where it all goes in case you lose any more bits and pieces and washers and what have you. So that's why I'm leaving the wheels and what have you on. Push that bolt out, if we can be so bold. Height adjustment arm, lift that up. That all lifts out together, he says. There it goes. And put my height adjustment bar back on. I'll remove that bolt there.
Ready?
Hang on, babe, 2 seconds, mate. I'm right in the middle of being a fiddly. Mum is home, is she? Cool. I'm going to put those nuts and bolts back on so we don't lose them. Now I've done 2 or 3 of these, so I'm quite familiar with this little Honda Izzy. Now that took approximately 15 minutes. 15 minutes of your day has just been spent stripping down stuff, awaiting paint. So there's our deck now fully done. What we now want to do is get Mrs. P's hairdryer, heat these stickers up. This one, and this one. And try and remove them, because you want to try and keep them as original as you can. You can peel them off, and what I can do also is just stick them on and then use some kind of lacquer over top to hold them. But we'll have a little look to see how well they're on. Let's have a little play. Yeah, that was okay. That's come off in one go. That's fine. We can clear the back up and put a sticker on it. This one here may not want to lift quite so easily. It may not be quite so willing. So I'm going to get a little tiny craft knife, which I think is in my big toolbox. Yep, there it is. And very, very carefully lift this sticker up. I'm angling the knife downwards. Get in there. Just do it little by little. People don't rush this. If you rush it, then you're gonna ruin it. Nice and gently. There it goes. We got it. That's the original Honda sticker there. I'm gonna lay that down flat on my toolbox so it doesn't curl up. I might even put something on top of that later on. And then the last sticker is over here on the back. And these are the ones which generally are the worst to get off, because they like to rip. So let's just see what we can do. Because this has got all the information on it. Nice and gently, Mick. Very sticky just there. Do not rip. Got it. And a bit of petrol on the back of that, just to clean all the rust off. And you've got all your sticker. This is a 2008 model Honda Izzy. So that's good. So now, the deck is now ready for spraying, or not ready for spraying, ready for treatment. As I say, the deck is good. There's no soft spots in it at all. If there was, I wouldn't bother doing it. These tend to rust here, and here is a big place for these, and all down in front as well. But there's nothing on it at all. What I'm now going to do is scrape, and I've also got some paint stripper. And I'm going to put that onto this deck now, cover it over, and then sand it down, clean it all up. And when you guys come back, you'll see this has now got no paint on it, or next to no paint on it, and we'll be ready to start doing some sanding work and some primer work. Right. So I made a bit of progress. I've just put the first layer of, I use a product, same as what Martin Leedon uses. It's called Power Strip. It's good stuff. It gets rid of most stuff, okay? It's not as good as the old industrial gear used to be, but this is quite good stuff. As you can see, it's lifted most of the paint off. Now this paintwork was trashed anyway, so it has actually lifted the bulk of it off. And with a bit of scraping, most of this is going to come off with relative ease, okay? So I've now got to spend the next sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, scraping this paintwork off, and I'll come back once I've done so. Some areas it's going to come off better than others, and I may have to apply 2 or 3 coats on it, but as you see, most of it is just lifting straight off, okay? But I will have to go back over it again in areas and what have you. So let me get on with that, and I'll come back to you in 2 ticks for you guys. 20 minutes for me once I've got most of this paintwork off. Good morning, people. How you doing? This is a carry-on video from when I started this Honda Izzy. I have been away, as you know. I have been away up to go and see Gary, Stacey, Martin, Sharon, Tracy. What's Martin's other boy's name? Jimmy and his missus. She's pregnant, which is nice to see. So I've been up to go and see them. So this video is going to be a bit more delayed, obviously, after the funeral. But went up to go and see the Butlers, because obviously Olivia passed away. Very sad. I've got some bits here. For those that didn't know, Olivia had some complications in life, and however she wasn't supposed to go past about 2 years old, but she got to 6, bless her, and unfortunately she conducted COVID and a few other bits and pieces, and she passed away. So I went out to see the funeral, do the funeral. She had a white horses with a white carriage, and oh my lord, it was a tough one. I mean, I'm just a friend of the family, but for those who are, you know, really close friends and what have you, and actual family, it was an absolute buckler. One of the hymns was "Shine Jesus Shine." Oh my lord, that had me in bits. And also, what was the other song that done me? Oh yeah, at the beginning, yeah, Entrance, Over the Rainbow. Oh my lord. So yeah, I was in bits. So yeah, I will show it on my live stream as well. But I went up to Lincoln, Sestonshire to go and do that. I've got a little trinket here which I'm going to light on my live stream as well. What's this say here? Don't cry for me, I'm not gone. My soul is at rest, but my heart lives on. Light this candle for me to see and hold on to my memory. It was without a doubt a really hard funeral, and in these little tiny baskets, if you like, they had live butterflies in here, and when we was all around by the graveside, you had to open your basket up and let the butterfly out, which was a really nice touch. But the last butterfly, I think Stacey actually removed out of hers, the mum, and the butterfly landed right on her top and sat there for a minute or so. It was really touching. But so anyway, thank you to Butler family. Go and check out Project Man, Retro Restore, Butler's Empire. Go and support them and what have you. But it was a fantastic time. They made me feel so welcome. And we did have a laugh and a joke at the same time, but you know, it was a very, very sad occasion. So that was that. That's where I've been for the past day or two. So we're going to get back onto this Honda Izzy. Where did we get to last time? So last time I was on this. I rubbed it all down, and I treated it with I use Cure Rust rust treatment, and this was blue originally, and it goes blue whenever it attacks the rust, and then I left this for about 2 or 3 days, and now it's gone this black colour. Yeah, there are a few blemishes on the mower. I'm not overly concerned about that. We're just improving what it looked like. Got a bit more sand to do just down here with my brush, but nothing I can't sort out. So I'm going to be doing that. I have just picked up, I can get this, some grey primer. I picked some of that up, and also I've picked up some 2K lacquer as well, which is your petrol resistant lacquer as well to go on top, because I have ordered some champagne gold, which is near enough the colour of this. It might be just a little bit lighter, but we'll see how it goes on. But either way, it's going to improve the look of the machine. So I'm going to put a mask on and what have you. I might take it outside, actually. It's a nice day today. I might take it outside and spray this in the fresh air, and then just going to spray this up with a couple of coats of grey under primer. I'm not going to do the underside. The underside is good, so I shan't bother doing the underside, and then I'll come back to you guys once I've done the grey primer, so you can see how it looks. But I've got to wait a bit longer because I've got to wait for the top coat to come in from the post, which should be here today or tomorrow apparently, so we'll see how we get on. So I'll see you in 2 ticks once I've sprayed it with the undercoat. Right, so there is the mower deck. I took it outside and sprayed it up. It's a glorious sunshiny day today, and it's pretty much dry on impact, this stuff. Let's had 2 coats of the under primer, which is pretty much more than what you get with a standard lawnmower here in the UK anyway. It's got to have at least 3 coats of top of a champagne gold, and then it'll have 1 to 2 coats of the 2K lacquer. The problem with the 2K lacquer is that sometimes it does affect the paint. So what I tend to do is once I've put the last coat of top on, just before it goes off tacky, I then hit it with a 2K lacquer, and it tends not to react too badly then. If you let it go completely dry, I have seen it blister up. So what I do is I mix it in with the top coat just before it goes tacky, and that way we don't have too much of an issue. So what I'll do now, that's going to now be transferred outside. I can now sit out in the sunshine and bake for a couple of days until my top coat comes. Right, well, it's painted and it's lacquered. Champagne gold, my bottom. It's a bit bright. In fact, I can't even stare at it when I'm spraying it. I've had to wear sunglasses, so there might be a few spots that I've missed, but this is not original. I would go for champagne gold, possibly in a like a non-metallic version, and then use a lacquer. I think the metallic has given it a bit more of a Pimp my mower sort of look, but it is what it is. Come and have a little look at it, see what you think. Let me spin it around. I've got sunglasses on. There you go. It is a bit bow chicka wow wow sort of look. I'm, you know, for what it is, it's a lawnmower, right? You know, and the condition it was in beforehand, I'm hoping the sun might just dull it off a touch, but I have now put 2K lacquer on there. It looks like I've missed a bit just here, but I don't think I have. Every time you move around, it goes from gold to silver sort of appearance. So it is what it is. It looks better than what it was. End of the day. So we'll just see how it goes off. I'm going to leave it now for about another hour. Okay, let that dull off. I've got to do the handles. Just spray the handles up, finish them off, and then hopefully it'll look better. So I've done the, as I say, I've done the old muffkin here. Look, that's done. I've got the handles to do, and then I'll probably get on this tomorrow now, because I want that lacquer to go off really, really hard. It takes about 2 days to go off before you can start putting the wheels back on. So I might just get on to give a carburetor a clean. I noticed a bit of water in there a little while ago, so I'll give a carburetor a bit of a clean as well. I'll do it off camera, and then by tomorrow we can then start to put this machine back together. That's the idea. But wow, that's bright. Well, there you go. Engine's now on. Now I'm seeing little spots of silver. I think it's silver, I'm not sure. It's a different light, I don't think it is. Every time I move, I'm getting a flash of silver, but there's no silver in this paint. And it won't be the undercoat. Anyway, do you know what? It is what it is. I've got to do the carburetor clean yet, as I say. I'm going to take that coil off, give that coil a bit of a clean as well. Got to take the spark plug out, put a new spark plug in, all that sort of good stuff. I didn't spray his hands up just here. I might take just his wheels off very quickly and just spray them little adjusts up down here and on the back as well. I've got to do them. Got to clean the wheels up, put the covers back on, and I'll do the grass flap next. The paint is dry, so no problems there. So I might do the back flap next and the grass flattener flap at the back. I may do that next. So it looks silver here, but every time I move my head though, it changes back to gold again. It's just a metallic of the paint. That's all it is. I'm not happy with it, really. I'm not. But do you know what? It is what it is. It looks better than what it was. Got the little grass flap to put on yonder. Right, next we're going to put the back flap on. Now this I had a couple of comments on this before on how to install this spring and do it right, because it was mucking some people about. So all you got to do is make sure that these legs go up inside the bracketry here. Let's go around that way. Okay, like that. So this little tiny tab is facing out the back. Okay, back of the flap, not out over top. And then what you want to do is literally put your spring on and make sure these tabs are inside the bracketry at the flap at all times, and then literally just offer it into place and then pull the spring towards you. At the same time you're putting it all together inside the flap housing. It's a bit tricky, but then, you know, these things are sent into testers, aren't they? And I think that's got it. I think. Yeah, it's a bit of tension there. Not gone all the way up inside the flap, but it's going now. There it goes there. I think that's gone in. Yeah, they're in. Once them flaps are up inside, you can then get your bar, feed that through, and feed it through the spring. That's the hardest bit. All the way through. Just trying to line up on the second part of the flap now. Wants to muck me about a little bit. I've got a tool just for that if it doesn't want to muck you about. It's just lining it all up. It's just trying to fight you all the way. I don't know if we can tip that up yet because it won't like to be tipped. But that's not far out. There it goes. That's not a million miles away. Oh, that's so close. There it goes. I'll run that through. You get to the end. Let's lift the end up ever slightly, just so we can get it up into its housing on the far end, all the way through. So now you should have tension on that flap. It is. That's how you do it. So just remember that the centre piece goes into the deck and the two ears, they go inside the flap facing the back, okay? That's got to have a little tiny circlip or something put on there just to keep that about true, and that's how you install the back flap. Okay, to install the rear grass flattening flap, that's easy enough done. All we're going to do is remove this back wheel very, very loosely, lift that off. Okay, just let that sit down a bit. And all you want to do there is just remove the bar from said flap, lift the mower up, insert a bar in just so it's offered, and then just relocate your flap the other side. Has that got it? Underneath, yeah, it is. All the way through. bring the mower around, line it up this end. There's another hole just down here somewhere. Where is it? Head's in the way, I know. There it is. So just poke through just down through here, just where my finger is. So make sure you got that. Yeah, you should see it. Down through there, and then all you want to do is just put a circlip on the back of that as well, and then you can just reinstate your wheel back onto the mower, and that's how you put your grass flattening flap on there as well. I'm going to just put a circlip on there at a later date. No big issue there. So you've got two to do, one on the grass flap itself and one on the grass flattening flap as well, just there and there. So they're both now fitted. Just put one on there and one on the other side just there. Right, to put one of your star clips on, all I've done is attach a pair of vice grips on this side over here, and I've got a star clip. Just want to get a smallish hammer just to begin with. I might have to abandon the video today because it's getting a bit warm in here. Get yourself a little socket, probably around about an 11mm socket, something like that, something fit over the top. Put that onto there, that onto there. Then get your hammer and tap onto there, and that's how you do that the mixed mowers way. All right, bit of paint damage, but as I say, we're just improving the looks. So that's that one, and just literally the other one. Ooh, all you got to do is exactly the same. I'm going to put turn the mower around. I'm going to put a set of vice grips right underneath here, holding on to this bar, which should be, oh, that's darn near perfect. Yeah, about there. So they're on. I'm then going to just adjust you guys to see what's going on. You bring it down over here a bit. Where are you? You're there. I'm then going to remove that wheel. I'm going to get another star clip. That's going to be the one. Get your 11mm socket off of the star clip into place. Something like that. There's my little tinking hammer gone. Little tinking hammer. And there it goes. That goes on there like that. So that's how you replace the two star clips. No point sitting there fighting with them. If you can do it an easier way, or as I call it, a mixed mowers way, then do it the mixed mowers way. It's always easier if you just copy me. Oop. Let's put that onto there. So that's now got the grass flap on and the grass flattening flap on as well. It's easy for me to say. As I say, I do have to still got a black V's in here. I should just put a bit of card or something behind there and just spray them satin black or something. But now the height adjustment all now works as it should do on the front and back axle, so that's good. I just want to tidy this up. I'm not going to spray it, I'm just going to clean, just use some WD-40, clean it all off, and then I'll use some Revive it on there just to pick that up instead. So there you go, Muffkin's back on, or exhaust, whatever you want to call it, exhaust guard, that's all now back on, sprayed up black. I've just put a bit of white spirit around here just to clean this all dipstick cover off as well, because that was a little tiny bit silvered. I'm going to get a Scotch-Brite pad onto these wheels and clean them up eventually as well, just to tidy them up. They look a bit sun-bleached. I've got to put the handles back on. I've got to put the carby on. I put a new spark plug in. I've got to put a new air filter on, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to go off screen now and do the carburetor, because the carburetor had a bit of gunk inside it. Although the machine was running, it wasn't running quite right. So yeah, I'll do a quick carburetor clean. What engine is this on here? It's the 135 Honda. Yeah, do a carburetor clean, and I'll come back once I've done that, and then we'll refit the carburetor on. Okay, carburetor's now on. There was some water inside that carburetor in the bowl, and the main jet was a little restricted, not a great deal. Brand new air filter going on. That's what we like to see. And I'll give that just a little tiny covering of the Revive It in a bit as well. All the fuel lines all hooked up and what have you. I've got to put the handles on the back. Put the blade on, sharpen the blade up, secure the engine bolts because they're still not secured as of yet. And I think we're nearly there. I don't think I'm missing anything else. So let me get the handles put on next. That'll then give me something to work with. And I've got to connect up the dead man's handle as well. So we'll do that. Let's grab the handles. They've been satin blacked as well, just to make it look a bit nice. Let me bring a camera up a touch. There you go. Right. Looking smarter, guys, isn't it, eh? Hey? She's looking a doozy part, isn't she? Right, now what's confusing me, I've got a few nuts and bolts here left over, but I've got a sneaky feeling they're from other projects, is what I think has happened. I've got two big nuts and bolts here. I've got no idea where they go, but oh no, that's right, blade bolts. Here you go. Here you go. See, even I make mistakes. Not very often, but I do. Right, hands all been blacked up. Let's not going that way, I think. Let me silly Mick. Go on there. Down into there. Goes that way. There's one. There's two. Sink the hardware on. I've got to put all in the machine yet as well. But from what it looked like beforehand when it first came here, Mrs. P even said to me, this is the truth, she said to me, oh, we can do that, just throw it straight in the skip. I said, no. Did you wait and see? No, I bet you £1. She'll see that and she'll say, cool. Can you sell my one? I'll keep that instead. Nope. Not happening. Throw it in the skip, you told me. Well, there goes a brake handle. That's now on. Cable tie there somewhere to secure that. Happy with that. Grass traps all working as it should do. Bish bash bosh. I've got to put that pull cord up onto the handle. That's that bit done. What have we got left? Two big nuts and bolts for the blade. So let me get the blade sharpened and balanced. I'll fit that. I'll put some oil in. I've got to tighten the engine down. Engine's still a little bit loose. Do that. I'll do that before I put the oil and what have you. And then, yeah, done. I've still got to paint these up yet. There's just a bit of black on here, but I can do that at my leisure. But I'll meet you outside. We'll have a little walk around, see what you think, see if you like it, see if you don't like it, and then we'll go from there. Right. Mower is done. Let's get it off the old bench. I'll bring it out to you guys. Blades all been sharpened and balanced. I'll grab some petrol as well. Oil's all been done. I've got to say, actually, from where it was to where it is now is night and day. The paint, it has looked better since the lacquer's gone on it. But it does look like a homemade job. It doesn't look as good as some of the mowers I've done in the past. I've also lacquered up the back flap and the pull cord assembly, getting that 4K lacquer as well, just to give it a bit more of a shine. That one goes on there. So we'll go for a fire up, see what happens. Hopefully we'll get no fuel leaks because that'll ruin the paint. Bit of fuel. Do that, turn the fuel on. Fuel's on, check for leaks. Nothing yet. Should we go for a fire up? Oil, spark plug, fuel. Yeah, we're good to go. Right, let's see what happens now. Hopefully it'll just jump into life. It could do with the idle just tweaking up a touch. I may do that. Do you want a quick little look? Come on then. There you go, done and done. What do you think of that? That looked pretty smart. From where it was to where it is now, I'm happy with it. It could do just the revs being picked up a touch. I also put the label on the back as well. It's just stuck down for a minute. There you go. No fuel leaks. Ticking over nice. It just wants some revs picking up just a touch. Just a touch. But I'm happy. Just make sure it starts and stops on its own, as it should do. Just put you down there. So it stops on its own accord. Start again. So yeah, it does just want them revs just picking up just a smidge. Not too much. That'll do. So there you have it. One Honda Izzy 18-inch now, all up and running as it was beforehand. Quick little carburetor clean, a little bit of water in there, not a great deal. But a good little paint job. It's now got more paint on it than it had before it left the factory originally. So it should last a bit longer. Underneath is absolutely A1. Yeah, the deck is not in brilliant condition. There is a bit of rust pitting on there. But I'm not going to sit there and fill it all and all the rest of it because I just won't get a return for it back where I live. But all in all, it should now go out and sell hopefully this year and make a good little return for somebody, and also a nice little lawnmower for them to cut the rest of the season. And into the next, a Honda engine, they do sell very well indeed, and now it's got a bit of a shine to it. It's a proper little mower now, looks pretty good. The paint, I think, if you're going to go for the paint, go for the champagne gold, but don't get the metallic one. I'll just get like a gloss finish would be better, I think, rather than metallic, because that metallic has just got too much of a shine to it. But unless you try all these things, you just never know. If you enjoyed the video, Mixed Mowers, don't forget to hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be told when I've done a video or two on my Saturday night wiki live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. I look forward to the next episode of Mixed Mowers very, very soon. But until then, people, don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.